What's going on, everybody? It's your boys over No Days Off DFS here to bring that NBA slate breakdown for the 5-gamer that we got today. Really great. 5 games, nice size slate. I like it. Upside could be there for us. Definitely some value plays that we can get to. Only one team on the back end of a back-to-back. We got the Utah Jazz taking on the Indiana Pacers, which should still actually be a good late night hammer game, considering the teams that are going up against each other. I actually do like that one as a late night hammer. So decent right there in that right there. If FanDuel has the 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time game going on there, I am sorry for anybody that plays on FanDuel. That is crazy. It's crazy enough that we have an 11 p.m. game going on a slate anyway. But one team on a back-to-back, everyone else should be pretty fresh. This is going to be pretty good for us. I do like that. We got Boston and Philly matchup over here. Again, we've already seen them play like twice on a season. I myself, of course, I'm interested in watching my OKC Thunder go up against Golden State Warriors, even though we're not fully healthy Thunder, but we're still dogs, and we still been in those games, and it's been really great to watch what my team has been able to do throughout the season. Let me know what team down here. Well, what team on today are you guys actually interested in wanting to watch? Let me know down there in the comment section. Before we get to the injury report and everything, let's look at last night's core. Last night we had Green. We got the word that he was going to get the start over there for Detroit. Detroit, on the back of Cade Birmingham, went to OT. Triple-double for Cade. Almost dropped 100 fantasy points. Yeah. That's wild. I know his price is going to be like probably Wemby price on the next slate because he was at like 10.5. And of course, he went against my rule of playing a player that played some heavy ass minutes the night before, taking him on a back-to-back. He played 41 minutes the night before. I'm not going to play it. I'm not. I get it. He was going against Washington. I don't care. I just was not going to do that. Like, look at what Giannis does every single time he's on a back-to-back, even though he's in a smash spot. Same thing with Wemby when he's in a back-to-back and he's in a smash spot. I'm not going to change that. Tyrese Maxey just somehow sometimes barely gets there on the back end of a back-to-back. I'm just not going to take that chance. And that's just personally myself. But you guys can go against those type of rules. That's why I let you guys know what I look for and what it is that I do and how I play. All right, so Green, he did all right. He was able to get the value. Ron Hollins was a fucking bum. Didn't need to have him in my line. Ayo DeSumo, he did very well. And then Jared Allen started the game hot. First stint, had like 14-something fantasy points. And then finishes the game with 26. Can't make it up. It was crazy. But you know what else was pretty crazy? Our boy, Brandon Williams, who we called out again. And someone said it down in the comment section. We were the only ones that was on this one right here. Brandon Williams, the night before, the time before when he was out there, he was playing and he was outplaying D'Lo. It's not surprising. The boy went out there 19 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal. He should have been starting this whole time. Now, granted, hey, they didn't get the result that they wanted, which they can. They can. It's going to be okay. They're going to figure that out. They're going to figure it out. We ain't worried about that. But it's a good sign seeing that our boys out there in the starting lineup. All right, looking at the injury report for today, Toronto Raptors, they should go back to the normal starting lineup. Jakob he is back. Scotty Barnes just slide back up to that 4th spot. For the Brooklyn Shitters over here, Cam Thomas, he's still out for them. For the Memphis Baby Bears, for them, really no injury news. It's been the same old for them. They're going up against the New York Knickerbockers. Mitchell Robinson, always a game time decision, but he is expected to play. Normally, you know, they keep him out for back-to-backs and stuff like that. That's why I believe he still has that questionable tag right there. For the Boston Celtics, no news. Sam Hauser, probable, so he should play. For the Philadelphia 76ers, Joel Embiid, he's back. He's going to be inside the starting lineup. Of course, you know, they keep him out for our injury concerns on back-to-back, so he's good to go. For the Golden State, well, only other thing to note over here is that Watford looks like he is now the starting power forward. I know that he started the last 2 games there at that spot, so he should possibly get that start again here. Definitely be the only other thing really to know over here for Philly. Golden State Warriors taking on my OKC Thunder. Golden State, they're pretty much back to full strength for them. They got Steph Curry back in the starting lineup, Jimmy Buckets, Jonathan Kuminga, Draymond Green, Quentin Post. Only other true thing to note, which I would imagine they should run this lineup right here just because we are running double big, is that they are rotating between Quentin Post and Pod in the starting lineup. So I wouldn't be surprised. Quentin Post should get the start here just because you do have Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet. But something for you guys to note moving forward as you guys pay attention throughout the season. OKC Thunder. Over here for us, we're going to be without Lou Dort. Andrew Wiggins, he's also going to be out. So it is going to be a little bit of a shakeup. More than likely, it is going to be AJ Mitchell slid into the starting lineup. Queso out there, Chet, Isaiah Hartenstein, and my boy SGA. And then last but not least, Indiana Pacers taking on the Utah Jazz. For the Jazz, they're on the back end of back-to-back. Maybe we might get some news that someone might sit or something like that, but I doubt it over here for Utah. And then over here on the Indy side of things, for them, the big thing is going to be just that TJ McConnell, he's questionable. He might be back. So they might have their backup guard back for them. So that'll be pretty cool and interesting right there. One thing to note over here on the Patreon, I forgot to mention this to you guys, but if you guys are looking for women college basketball plays and things like that, my boy B, he is, of course, deep in those streets. This is play of the day today. It's going to be Latson over here for, not sure exactly. South Carolina, 19.5 points. He's taking her for the over. He has already posted his full list over there as well. So if you guys looking for women college basketball stuff, definitely check out my boy B. His work is over there on the Patreon. Link for that is down in the description box below. Looking over here on DraftKings, the site I play the most on the site. If you guys don't have an account, you want one, check the link down in the description box below so you guys get that deposit match bonus and join your boy over here on the Kang. And if you guys have not hit that subscribe button, we're almost to 2,000 subs. When I get to 2,000 subs, I said it during the women, during the WNBA. I got a jersey giveaway. Been waiting to hit that 2,000 subs for a hot minute, but we're finally about to hit it. So when we do hit 2,000 subs, I will be doing that giveaway for sure over here on the channel. So definitely hit the subscribe button if you guys want to support your boy and the work that I do over here, and drop a like in the video if you guys do enjoy the content. Toronto Raptors taking on the Brooklyn Shitters. This one right here should be a pretty decent game, of course, for us to go right back to our main guys, Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, BI, Iman Quickly. All those guys should be in a pretty great spot. You guys kind of know how I rank these guys normally. Of course, Scotty Barnes, because he is do-it-all. He can stuff the stat sheet, rebounding, playmaking, of course, scoring, and gives us a little bit on the defensive side. He's, of course, going to be in upper echelons. 8,400 makes sense. Now, I will say, between the two guys that are mainly going to be out there scoring, Brandon Ingram and RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett to me has been the more consistent one between the two, pretty consistent with his 30-ish plus fantasy points. And then the diva himself, Brandon Ingram, throwing water balls and shit at people. Definitely you can mess with that if you want to. 7,600. I'd rather just take my chances coming out here to RJ Barrett, get a little bit of the value that I can get. And you know, I don't see no diva tendencies from RJ. I think I'd rather play him right there. But you cannot go wrong with Iman Quickly. This is definitely one of those spots where we can see our boy rack up a couple of steals. Definitely, of course, additional rock getting those assists. And he's been back in his bag again, scoring. I do like that price tag, 6,400. You know you are gonna have to deal with, of course, the give or take between him and Scotty Barnes with the assist, the playmaking, and so on and so forth. But when he's out there on the court, he's giving you some pretty good upside, and I do like that price at 6,400. It makes sense to look right there. Outside of that, with Savi Mama, him being out, CMB, he's definitely going to be getting a lot of that backup burn. This is one of those spots where he will actually be able to play. 4,600, not a bad value option right there if you do land there. I definitely do see the upside for him, especially if Acapulco was to somehow get himself into foul trouble. Definitely look towards Shahid. Shahid's getting some pretty decent burn off the bench himself. Grady Dick, Ochai Agbaji. You definitely can. I'd rather play Dick over Agbaji. That would just be me right there. But other than that, not really going to look too deep. Over here on the Brooklyn Shitters side of things, of course, we know Michael Porter Jr. He's going to be out there. He has to do it. He has to score. He has to put the team on his back. And that's what he's continuously been able to go out there and do. But whether or not they're going to actually be in the game, that's a whole nother story that we're not going to know at all. I will say, as long as they're going to start our boy Clowney, and he's sitting at 4,600, yes, a dud of a game. That was to be expected. Okay, you're going up against the New York Knicks. It's the New York Knicks. I'm not surprised at all. But Clowney starting, he chucks the shots. He actually can stuff the stat sheet and do quite a bit out there. Opposing power forwards going up against the Toronto Raptors. And this is with Scotty playing at the 4, Scotty playing at the 5. It doesn't matter. Trent Wofford, he dropped that 62 bomb out there on them. Jalen Johnson, he dropped 35. The Greek Freak. Granted, I want to say this game was on the back end of a back-to-back, but the first time Giannis played them, he dropped damn near 70 on their heads. The second time he played them, he almost had 40. So take what you want from that. Jaren Jackson Jr., 35. It makes sense to look at my boy Noah Clowney. As long as he's out there in the starting lineup, I like the upside for him. He's going to be playing upwards, close to hopefully more towards that 30 minutes right there for him. Again, this was a blowout. I'm not gonna hold that one against him at all. Outside of that, Nick Claxton, I said it before, he's playing some pretty great minutes. He's doing some pretty great things while he's out on the court. Of course, no Cam Thomas. Other people do have to step up and take some more shots. Toronto Raptors going up against them with opposing centers has actually been pretty good. Just as green as what it's been for opposing power forwards. For them, Kristaps Porzingis, 38, Miles Turner, 31. Granted, these are some stretch bigs right there. I can truly attest to that. Everyone that I am looking at truly are stretch bigs. Wemby, he does step outside the paint, can take some three-point shots. Alfred Şengün, he does take some three-point shots as well. Play makes and does all those other things, but I still will just not ignore the fact that opposing bigs and his usage and everything that he's done, 6,400, not a bad price tag. I do like the upside. Terrence Mann, he's there, but he's been just mid. I will say Demeen, long as he's starting, I definitely do see going to him as a potential value option. 4,500, not bad. I can take the upside, but if you want to switch over here to Martin instead, who is going to be more of a GPP spot, I would like it better if he was to be the starter over trying to guess it over here with them, but this would be definitely a back and forth that you could actually choose right here. If Day'Ron Sharpe is going to be out, then I would imagine we might see a little bit more bump for Dwight Powell as potential. He's been out there, not Dwight, Drake Powell, the dude, 27 and 23 minutes in these last 2 games and has put up pretty much a really great production out there. Of course, that second game where he actually gave us 26 fantasy points, that was the blowout game, so take that with a grain of salt. But outside of that, not really going to force too much over there from Brooklyn Shitters. Memphis Grizzlies taking on New York Knickerbockers. This is going to be a tough game. game. I'm going to be very honest, very tough. Ja, he's going to be dealing with some pretty decent defense over there. I'm not too interested in getting to anybody over here for them. I will say if the game gets blown out, I do think that Cedric Coates, he's going to be out there regardless. And the dude is a dog. Love the upside. The fact that he stuffs the stat sheet, rebounding, he can play make, and he's also going to go out there and try to look for his shot and score. I do like the upside for him as a GPP option, especially if you do think the game can blow out or get out of hand. Memphis on the road, I don't trust him. I really don't see too much over here for them that I do like, but Court would be one. If the game was to stay close though, Jaren Jackson Jr. does have a decent path to being able to get there for them. Opposing power forwards going up against them, they've been okay, especially if they're able to get downhill, actually shoot. And you just got to hope that JJJ doesn't get himself into foul trouble trying to guard Cat and can also just be aggressive enough. Outside of that, Santi Aldama, maybe if you want to take another one that does have some upside, we know he can play some center spot as well. Especially if Jacques Landale was to get himself in the foul trouble or something like that, that would definitely be an upside. On the flip side of things, looking over here to New York Knickerbockers, I mean, we already know what it is. Karl-Anthony Towns, double-double machine. The dude's got a streak going on right now, and I think we're going to go ahead and continue to ride that coattail. But Big Cat, 9K, makes sense. Like the upside, don't mind it at all. Jalen Brunson, decent spot, but of course, very heavily relying on him actually getting the scoring. Yes, he can go ahead and play make, get a couple of assists, but 6 would be typically like his floor for his assist, and I really don't like to bank that, especially for 8,900. When I can come down here to OG Anunoby, 6,500, really great spot for our boy OG. The steal, the block upside that he has, and the three ball for him. And then of course Mikal Bridges over here as well, which he's been pretty consistent, not giving us any crazy type of dud games, but opposing twos. My boy AJ Mitchell just dropped 41.5 on their heads. Why can't he? Max Christie went out there and had 25 in his limited type minutes. Josh Okogie, he went out there and dropped 27. RJ Barrett, 43. Marcus Smart, 25. Mikal Bridges, better than half of those guys that I just listed right there. I definitely do like the upside and think this could be a spot we can go ahead and go to him. With Mitchell Robinson more likely being back, I don't think we can go ahead and get to Josh Hart, which I mean, he's okay to have in your player pool. Definitely meets the criteria for a value option underneath 6K. Definitely at least playing 20-ish minutes. Just we understand that his upside is kind of capped because he's not the do-it-all Josh Hart that we were so used to having before. Unless the game was a blowout, I'm not really going to look towards McBride, Clarkson, Shamet, or none of these other guys. That's just going to be it for me. Boston Celtics, the C's taking on the Philadelphia 76ers again. Sound like a broken record. Jaylen Brown, all the usage, 8,500 still. I don't know why he's not getting priced up even more, but the team is on his back. He's going to go out here and do what he got to do. Third time facing this team, and both times facing them. 38 fantasy points, 48 fantasy points, so hopefully another 40-ish fantasy point outing for him. Derek White, long as his shot is actually falling, he can go out here and actually give us a decent day. I'm not worried or scared of looking at Tyrese Maxey defense or VJ Edgecombe defense. Not necessarily. I mean, unless VJ gets Peyton Pritchard on him, then he should be able to back him down, do whatever he wants to do on Peyton's short behind. But 7,200 for Derek White. I mean, yeah. Outside of that, though, Quetta, you're going to be out there dealing with Joel Embiid. I have no interest truly in even getting to that right there. I will say last time going up against Philly, and this is the Embiid played in this game, 16.5 fantasy points. I'm not going there. That's just me. Instead, I don't mind coming down to our boy Minot as a potential pivot option. Only 22 minutes in that game versus Philly. This one, 15.5 fantasy points. Still would take a stab. Go there. Anthony Simons, firecracker off the bench. Bro had 25 points in the first half going up against Orlando. You know what he finished the game with? 25 points. 25, but he was still value. He was definitely, of course, you look towards him as a value option coming off the bench. Going up against Philly, he's dropped 30 and 24 fantasy points. If he comes out hot, scorched earth like what he did last time, we know he could definitely put up some pretty great numbers. Definitely be an upside option that you can get to over there. On the Philly side of things, Joel Embiid is still sitting at 7,600. His minutes should go up closer to 30. They cannot continue to keep him down here at this 20-something, this 26. But at 26, in 26 minutes, he's chucking a ton of shots. We know what Embiid is going to do. He's going to get to the line, and he's going to just shoot. That is what Embiid knows. Yo, I got 27 minutes. I'm going to get my touches. I mean, we've seen it in back-to-back games. 20 points, 26 points. He's literally just shooting as much as he can, getting to the line, getting those free throws like he normally does. And he's still involved in the rebounding side. He can still play make, of course, those things right there. But back-to-back 40-plus fantasy point outing games and going up against Boston in 25 minutes, he only had 34 in that game right there. I don't mind. I don't mind paying that for Embiid. 7,600 is not a bad price tag at all to take for him. Tyrese Maxey going up against Boston, 66 and 60 fantasy points. Just a quick speed, the ability to go ahead and get out on the fast break. Tyrese Maxey, of course, we know the usage and everything over here for him is pretty high on the season. Opposing point guards going up against them. I mean, we just saw Jalen Suggs drop 40 on Boston's heads. 40. And that was a lot of it was him scoring and barely, 4 assists in that game. Upside for Maxey is just as high, 10-3. He's rightfully priced up as a stud. It makes sense. But I will say I do like coming down to Embiid instead of playing Tyrese Maxey. Outside of that, VJ Edgecombe, of course, he's there. He's played well going up against Boston, 30 and 50 fantasy points. So not a bad position to be able to come down here to. I will say again, Kelly Oubre Jr. is still priced in a nice sweet spot. He's cheaper than VJ, and he can go out here and give you just as much of an upside as him. With Joel Embiid being back in the line, and of course McCain, he should play some minutes in this game. I don't really have too much interest in going to Quentin Grimes just because Embiid is back, 6,300. I would rather just go ahead and come up here to Kelly Oubre Jr. instead. Andre the Drum Dog, with Embiid being back, he's not going to really have to play too many minutes. I'm not going to go there. But the value that you can get to would be our boy. Look at him. Go ahead. Potential. We could play Trent Watford. If they're going to start him, they're going to give him those starter minutes. Why not? We've seen opposing bigs go out here and have some pretty great games going up against them. I mean, Paolo, back-to-back games of at least 30 fantasy points going up against them. Evan Mobley dropped 45. Tobias Harris has dropped 35. So definitely within the realm of possibilities what we can get for that. Golden State Warriors taking on my OKC Thunder. I mean, this on paper is a tough matchup for the Warriors. You are going up against the quote-unquote #1 defense in the league. But we're missing our #1 defender in Lou Dort. I think just like how I was looking at it when they were going up against John Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies, we're going to have one player that we're going to leave sagged off. More than likely, that's going to be Draymond Green or Jonathan Kuminga. You're going to be just take the threes. Take it. Take what you want to do. Looking at it history-wise, opposing power forwards have actually done pretty well going up against us so far in the season. That actually is the weak spot, the weak hole for the Thunder has been an opposing power forward, and as I look at it too, the small forward spot, which is both the spots that we see Draymond Green and Jonathan Kuminga play. I do think the upside is going to be there for both those guys. 8K for Jonathan Kuminga, 6,800 for Draymond Green. Draymond Green, we do know he can stuff the stat sheet. He can rebound. He can also play, make and get those assists. And for whatever reason, he probably is going to knock down at least 2 threes going up against us. I would not be surprised. That would be like how I was telling you guys to look at Russell Westbrook last time out. That would be a crazy ladder spot that I would say take him for the 2 threes as your base, take him for 3 threes for the plus money, take him for the 4 threes for another one. We know he's going to jack those threes. I mean, he just had a game going up against Denver where he knocked down 5 threes. It's a realm of possibility that he can do. Granted, that game was without Steph Curry. Steph Curry at 8,800 coming off of a lapse of last couple of games. No, we don't have our #1 defender out there, but we still do have AJ Mitchell, pretty decent defender, and Casey Wallace, who will actually be the one guarding Steph Curry and out there for that defense. So I'm not going to really go to Curry. Jimmy Butler, though, if he is going to be getting the AJ Mitchell or Shea defense, we do know he loves to live at the line. He can definitely get there, draw some pretty ticky-tacky fouls, and has the upside. Ball will be in his hand. He can play, make, all those things, kick it out to Steph for some decent open shots, or hell, he might actually kick it to Kuminga on a cut or something like that. I don't mind that 8,400 is not a bad price tag to look towards Jimmy Butler, but I will say the main 2 plays I don't want to get to over here is going to be Jonathan Kuminga and Draymond Green. Those will be the main 2 options I don't want to get to for them. Outside of that, Will Richard, I was really liking and loving the upside, but of course with Steph being back, we're going to have to see if they're going to continue to let him get those minutes. That's going to be the only thing. If he's going to actually, which GPP option, possible, because he could still get the minutes even with Steph being back. That's the only thing you have to worry about. But I wouldn't go too crazy on him in this spot. That's the only issue right there. Then of course Moses Moody, he is playing the minutes off the bench. A value option, 5,700 is a bit rich. I would rather play Josh Hart over playing Moses Moody if you have to choose in that area right there. That would be something I would consider. For the OKC Thunder, just as much as what is a decent matchup for some of those forwards and stuff over there for them, over here for the Thunder, it's the guards, man. My boy SGA has a really great spot going up against him, and we've seen it. He's been pretty consistent. He has a streak currently right now of at least 20 points, dating all the way back to last season, that he's continuously been able to hit. Balls in his hands, the playmaking, all those things, he can go ahead and do that. He can also rebound. He's a really great rebounder, and he can play some pretty good defense, and he does tend to try to get up for certain matchups, and this could be one of them that he did last year. He had 60 and 63 fantasy points in 2 out of the 3 games going up against them last year. versus the Warriors, and then the year before that 65 and 64 fantasy points, and both of those games actually went to OT those years right there, going up against the Warriors. But Shea, we've only had what, two games so far in the year where he's gone over 60 fantasy points. Let's see if we can't make another one here tonight. Outside of that, Isaiah Hartenstein, man, the dude has been balling, and we have seen opposing centers actually be able to go out here and cook going up against the Warriors so far in the year. That pop shot that he has going on, he's been aggressive, very aggressive on the glass. Loving what I'm seeing for that, and we do know he can play make as well. I definitely do like Isaiah Hartenstein 6,900. It makes sense as a potential option to go to there at the center spot if you're looking for it. Chet Holmgren, we know that he has a chip on the shoulder. He can go out there and lace him up and knock down some pretty great shots coming off of rest, which is one of the big things that I really do like to take Chet for. When he comes off of some pretty good days of rest, he typically comes out there looking more refreshed. Just got to worry about that back. I have seen him grab his back running down the court, and after some shots, he's grabbing that back. So I do think he really does actually have a lingering back issue, but I don't mind it. He wouldn't be out there playing if he was not actually full, healthy, and good to go. I would say I would rather play Kuminga over Chet if I got to choose right there in that spot. That's just me. AJ Mitchell, long as he's starting, he's out there. He stuffs the stat sheet. He looks really great out there playing alongside Shea. I'm not going to say he's going to replace anybody in the starting lineup or anything like that. It would be interesting, though, if we were to trade Lou Dort, keep AJ Mitchell, we get Jalen Williams back. Nah, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't. I'm living in a dream. Isaiah Joe, interesting spot, playing back at the crib, could possibly knock down some three ball. But if things get dicey and we need a better defender out there, Alex Caruso will be out there to go ahead and take a lot of that burden. We know he's going to at least play 20-ish minutes. No Lou Dort, no Wiggins. Alex Caruso is going to at least play about 20 minutes here in the spot, and I do like the upside. Don't mind going over there to that. Last game of the slate. If you guys haven't hit that subscribe button already, go ahead, make sure you guys hit that so that way you guys can help your boy grow the channel. Drop a like in the video if you guys are enjoying some of the stuff that your boy is dropping over here as well. Indiana Pacers. For them, Pascal Siakam, we know that he's missed what? The last game he was out, but before that, the usage has just been sky high, 9,800. I just think the price probably needs to come down just a little bit, especially with the fact that Nembhard is back and he's actually doing what he should be doing, being the point guard. So I don't think I want to pay that right there for Siakam, because this is inflated for when Nembhard and all these other players were out. You know, Obi Toppin is still out and Bennett Mathurin, but he was getting a ton of assists in that time frame as well, besides also having to carry the scoring load for them. So I'm going to wait till his price drops back down, maybe below the 9K, before I really truly want to actually get back over there to that. Jarvis Walker, same thing for him. Of course, with Nembhard being back, those assist numbers that he was seeing before, they're not going to be there as well. That price does need to come down a little bit more for me to feel comfortable even going there. Nesmith at 6,300. Why would I play Nesmith when I could just actually play Nembhard instead, who does have the upside? I know he's going to score, and I know he can play make, and this is a good matchup for him going up against the Utah Jazz, and I like the upside for him as well. Ben Shepherd, back to coming off the bench. I really never like playing him, and I'm not going to like playing him at all, especially if our boy TJ McConnell is back as well. But I will say, JRE, he is playing phenomenal for them over here off the bench. A sneaky value option off the bench, especially if, you know, Jarvis Walker gets into foul trouble, or Siakam is just like, damn, I need a break, or shoot, they're still starting who is it? Is it Jackson at the center spot? JRE is actually outplaying Isaiah Jackson, if I'm gonna be very honest. He is outplaying the fuck out of him and Huff. Both of these guys, he's outplaying. Yes, Huff had a pretty good game last time out, 36 fantasy points, but JRE was right out there as well. 32 minutes, 29 fantasy points. What are we talking about? Just didn't shoot well from the field. 9 points, 12 rebounds as well. I'm just saying. JRE, like the value, definitely don't mind going to him as a potential option. But you can't go wrong going out here with Huff as well. But both of these guys are outplaying Isaiah Jackson, and I think maybe a change might come, just like Brandon Williams did for D'Angelo Russell. On the Utah Jazz side of things, the only team on the back end of a back-to-back, Lauri Markkanen. I mean, this is a pretty decent spot for him. 35 minutes last night, not bad. But Keyshawn George, 36 minutes last night, 45.5 fantasy points. Another great spot to actually take. Opposing guards going up against Indy, I actually do not mind going there at all. But the real one for me was Big Nurk. He only played 25 minutes last night, so he should actually be pretty decently fresh. Opposing centers going up against them have done pretty well. I mean, the Joker is the Joker, but Quentin Post just dropped 30 fantasy points. Nick Claxton dropped 51. Miles Turner had 30 fantasy points versus them. Nurk, if the shot can actually fall, which has just really been his thing, he's very inefficient. If we can actually get that shot to fall, it could be a pretty decent day for Big Nurk to go out there and give us something for them over here on this team. Outside of that, I'm not too crazy interested in too much over here. I would say Collier, maybe, if they're going to bump up his minutes. But if they're going to give Ace Bailey the start again, I'll take a stab at Ace Bailey as a late night hammer to just go out here and just do whatever the fuck he wants to do, kind of thing. But not too much interested over here on the Utah Jazz side of things. All right, time for everyone's favorite part is building up a core for today. So real quick, the way that I look at it and how I see going today, I already know I'm pretty heavy on Shea. Now, definitely you can run Shea with AJ Mitchell out here. I don't mind that. Or if you want to still get some attack of the guards over here for the Thunder going up against Golden State, you can go AJ Mitchell instead of SGA. I definitely think both of those options make sense. If you were to go AJ Mitchell over Shea, then I'm definitely probably playing Maxey instead as my like #1 guard spot or something like that. But I do like the upside for that potential option right there. But Shea would be probably my first piece. I really did actually like Nick Claxton. I think this is a pretty solid spot going up against Jakob Poeltl versus him. Going up against the Raptors last year, he actually played really well with 36 and 40 plus fantasy points. And again, like I said, opposing centers have actually cooked going up against them. Ooh, excuse me, sorry. Another piece that I do actually like, I think Santi Aldama, the minutes, I like the uptrend of the minutes that I'm seeing for him. I think this is a pretty decent value option spot, especially if the game, even if it gets out of hand or gets a little bit too wonky. I've seen Santi come in and actually play a stabilizing role, and we could possibly see him being out, especially, like I said, Jock Landale gets himself in a foul trouble, or if they try to run small to just get some type of generational offense or something going on, Santi could come out there and play a decent role right there for them. And then last but not least for me, I'd say Mana. I know I talk shit about Quetta, but I want to look at the numbers. Opposing centers have actually done okay. The only problem is it's Joel Embiid. That is the only problem. But I do need another piece of value over here in this line. And 5,700 is not a bad spot and not a bad position to be left in for the rest of your pieces right here. Of course, this is all projecting without the rest of the news and stuff that we are going to have to get on the slate. Something always happens on the NBA slate. I'm pretty sure something will happen today. Hopefully we get that news before lock, especially considering like we got two games locking at the same time, two, and then one. So core, of course, posted closer to lock. I'll have that up for you guys along with the top studs, which I mean, I'll tell you guys the top studs. Literally the top studs on today is SGA, Tyrese Maxey. I'm not focusing on Pascal Siakam like I already said. Karl-Anthony Towns. Those are the top 3 studs on today's slate. As you guys can see, again, Siakam will be a fade for me just with the players being back, and I just think that his price is a little bit too high for what he can actually generate and give us here in this position and spot. That's gonna do it for me, guys. Hopefully you guys were able to get something from this. Don't forget, drop that like on the video. Help us get out there to more people, and let's have a good day. Peace.